Welcome to podcast series for revision of accounting standards. These podcasts are designed by Mori classes. In today's episode, we are going to discuss about cash flow statements as standardized by AS3. An important financial statement to be prepared along with statement of profit and loss and balance sheet. Cash flow statement, or CFS, is an additional financial statement to be prepared along with statement of profit and loss and balance sheet. It shows how cash is generated and utilized by an enterprise over an accounting year. Therefore, it can also be called as where come, where gone statement. Its objective is to help users understand historical changes in cash flow, assess cash generation. CFS preparation is mandatory for non-SMCs and Level 1 enterprises. The Companies Act, 2013, also mandates it for all companies, with exemptions for one-person, small, dormant, and startup private companies. If an enterprise was not covered last year but now qualifies, then disclosing only current year figures without disclosing previous year's figures is acceptable. On the other hand, if an enterprise qualified last year but is disqualified now, then it is mandated to prepare CFS for another 2 consecutive years. AS3 requires a breakup of opening and closing cash and cash equivalents. It is therefore important to know what is included in those terms. Cash includes cash in hand and demand deposits. Cash equivalents are short-term, highly liquid investments, maturing within 3 months, and readily convertible to cash with insignificant risk of value change. Cash flows are the inflows and outflows of cash and cash equivalents. Non-cash transactions, like bonus share issues or plant acquisition by debentures, are not cash flows and are excluded from the CFS. Exchange gains and losses are also not cash flows. AS3 does not present cash flows by grouping receipts and payments separately. Instead, grouping is done on the basis of activities. Accordingly, AS3 classifies cash flows into 3 distinct types: operating, investing, and financing activities. Inflows and outflows from each activity are shown together to arrive at the net result of each activity. Separately presenting these types enhances the usefulness of cash flow information, with classification depending on the enterprise's business. Operating activities are the primary revenue-producing activities. They show how much cash operations generate to repay loans, maintain capacity, pay dividends, and make new investments without external financing. Examples include cash sales, customer collections, and supplier payments. Investing activities involve the acquisition and disposal of long-term assets and other non-cash equivalent investments. These activities demonstrate expenditures made for resources aimed at generating future income and cash flows. Examples include buying and selling fixed assets, including insurance claim received on assets lost, amount invested in long-term investments, and grant or repayment of loans to other enterprises. Further interest and dividend received on investments are also treated as investing activities. Financing activities alter the size and composition of owners' capital and borrowings. They are crucial for predicting future claims on cash flows by capital providers. Examples include issuing or redeeming shares and debentures, and paying interest and dividends. Classification rules vary by enterprise type. For financial entities, loans and interest are operating flows. For non-financial entities, loans given and interest earned are investing, while loans taken and interest paid are financing activities. Further classification distinctions exist for investments and dividends. For financial enterprises, these are operating, while for non-financial, they are investing. Dividends paid are always financing activities. Income tax is operating, but TDS on investment income is investing. Operating cash flows can be reported using the direct or indirect method. The direct method shows gross receipts and payments, ignoring non-cash items. The indirect method starts with net profit and adjusts for non-cash investing and financing items. Generally, AS3 requires gross reporting of cash flows, forbidding netting of investing and financing receipts and payments. Exceptions allow net reporting for quick turnover items or for financial enterprises' specific transactions, such as fixed deposits and customer loans. Non-cash investing and financing transactions, such as issuing bonus shares, are excluded from the CFS but disclosed elsewhere. Business acquisitions or disposals are presented separately as investing activities, never netted off, with specific disclosure requirements. AS3 encourages disclosing additional information for better financial understanding. This includes significant unavailable cash balances, undrawn borrowing facilities, and separating cash flows for maintaining versus increasing operating capacity. This concludes today's episode on the AS3 cash flow statements from the podcast series Revision of Accounting Standards by Mori Classes. I trust this detailed discussion has provided clarity about mandatory nature of AS3 and who are exempted from preparation of CFS, grouping of cash flows on the basis on 3 types of activities, the differential treatment of certain transactions depending on the type of business, and the disclosure requirements. I wish you the very best for your forthcoming studies and examinations. If this video was helpful, please share it with others. We at Mori Classes greatly appreciate your support, including subscribing to our channel and leaving comments with your feedback and suggestions for future topics.